So Waitita Skips, and welcome to week 10 of our distance learning. I hope you guys had a really good Memorial Day break, and I hope that you guys got the chance to rest and have some fun and enjoy yourselves as much as you can. Or could, rather, past tense. So let's just jump right into it. As you might recall, 2 weeks ago we had our unit test, and then last week there was no new material. Last week was a catch-up week for you guys because it was only 2 days long. So this week we are going to be doing some new material. The things I need from you are this work packet filled out and submitted, and I also need the week 10 open notes quiz taken and submitted. Now the open notes quiz is not online or anything like that. It's attached to this packet, okay? It's already included in there, so you don't have to go anywhere or find anything, whatever. It's all included in here for you, all right? And as a super friendly reminder, your May flashcard calendar is going to be due next week, because believe it or not, my goodness, time has flown. It's crazy, right? June is next week, which means May's over, which means you should have studied 100 minutes, okay? I am requiring 100 minutes for your flashcard calendar, so please make sure that you get that in. Okay, remember how it works. If you study 100 minutes, you get 100. Easy as that, okay? You study 5 minutes, you get a 5 out of 100. That's not so good, okay? So, and remember, this homework assignment, this May flashcard calendar, it counts 4 times. Okay, I'll say that again. It counts 4 times. So if you study for 100 minutes, you get 4 hundreds on a homework. But if you study for 5 minutes, you get 4 grades of a 5 going into your grade book, and that can really hurt. So please, I implore you, please, please, please get in your flashcard study time. 100 minutes. Okay? Awesome. So without further ado, let's go through our regularly scheduled programming. If you would please pause the video now and fill in your speed test. Okay? And once you've filled in all that you can remember, hit play and we'll go over them together. Alright, so off you go. And welcome back. Okay, I also noticed, sorry guys, it says part B. This is supposed to be part A because it's part A on your packets. So let's go over the answers now. All right, and remember, just a quick reminder, if at any time you need to pause the screen to, look at something, or you need to go back, that's the beauty of YouTube. You can just do that. All right, but without further ado, if you're done checking your answers, I'm going to sing through the chants with you, and I hope you will sing along with me. Please. All right, here we go. A, E, A, E, A, M. A, E, A, R, U, M. I, S, A, S, I, S, 2. Now the first declension's through. Now we're on to number 2. U, S, I, O, U, M. O, I, O, R, U, M. I, S, O, S, and I, S, 2. U, M, I, O, U, M. O, A, O, R, U, M. I, S, A, I, S. That's the neuter second declension. Wah, wah. Alright, and let's do our verb songs. O-S-T, M-U-S-T-I-S-N-T. O or M means I, S means you, T means he, she, or it. Mus means we, tis means y'all, nt means they. Bum bus but bum is but is bunt. Bum bus but bum is but is bunt. Bo bis bit bim is bit is bunt. Bo bis bit bim is bit is bunt. Alright, so that's that. those are our chants. Ta-da! Okay, now we're actually on part B. Okay, this is going to be some new vocabulary for you. Now, please notice it does say chapters 14 and 15 up here. Okay, that's because we're going through technically two semi-chapters of vocabulary for this week because they are, in fact, related. So what we're going to do, we're going to pronounce the Latin, and we're going to define these terms, and then we're going to see what they mean. Okay, like as in like how we use them, what they're for, why they are important. Okay, so first we're going to start with these guys over here, then we're going to work our way over here. All right, so that's how that's going to go. And if you will just give me 1 second, I need to click around somewhere. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but hang on. Okay. First, please repeat after me. And remember, you should say the Latin out loud, please, because even though we are not in class, we should still be practicing our Latin. All right, that's super, super duper important. So here we go. Unos, una, unum. Again, unos, una, unum. All right, and unos, una, unum means, you might have guessed it, one. All right, next, please repeat after me. Duo, duai, duo. Again, duo, duai, duo. And you might have guessed it, this means two. All right, next number. Please repeat after me. Tres, tria. Again, tres, tria. And that means three. I think by now some of you might have picked up on a pattern. Please repeat after me. Quatuor. Again, quatuor. And that means four. All right? Next, please repeat after me. Quinque. Again, quinque. That means five. All right, next, please repeat after me. Sex. Again, sex. And that means six. All right, repeat after me. Septem. Again, septem. And that means 35. Just kidding. It means 7. You might have guessed. Okay. Next, please repeat. Octo. Again, octo. All right, and that means 8. Not like I ate a delicious dinner, but 8 is in the number of arms an octopus has. Okay, please repeat after me. Novem. One more time. Novem. Right, that means 9. All right, and last but not least, please repeat. Decem. Again, decem. All right, and that, as you might have guessed, means 10. All right, so let's just go through and kind of just repeat after me. We're going to do it kind of in order. All right. Unus, duo, tres, quatuor, quinque, sex, septem, octo, novem, decem. All right? Actually, I can even zoom in here. So those are our cardinal numbers. Let's just go through and count one more time. All right? Again, repeat after me or say it with me, whatever tickles your fancy. Unos, duo, tres, quatuor, quinque, sex, septem, octo, novem, decem. Okay, now, interesting little fun fact about these numbers. Now, okay, how many calendar months do we have in a year? If you said 12, you are correct. All right, but in Roman times, Romans only had 10 months. Okay, and that explains why. So they only had 10 months, right? So Januarius, Februarius, what comes after February? Martius, right? Okay, but when you get to September, okay, for them they had September, October, November, and December. Okay, and September was the 7th month, October was the 8th month, November was the 9th, and December was the 10th. Okay, interestingly enough though, two guys came along and thought, yo, I'm really cool, so I'm going to name some months after myself, because I'm awesome. Right? I guess if you had that power, that would be cool. Right? Those guys were Julius Caesar and Augustus. And that is why we have July for Julius and August for Augustus. Okay? So in our calendar year, we have 2 extra months. All right? So the Romans kind of added those into their calendar. All right? And that's why it doesn't line up. All right? That's why our September is the 9th month, right? Because 7 plus 2 extra months is 9. All right, October is our 10th month, November is our 11th, and December is our 12th. Okay, so that's just a kind of fun fact about the calendar and some stuff that happened once upon a time in Latin land. Alrighty, now let's go through our ordinal numbers. All right, now note these are orange. Okay, so these I do want you to color code if you would be so kind. All right, but first we're going to repeat them. So please repeat after me. Primus, prima, primum. Again, primus, prima, primum. All right, and that means first. Next, please repeat after me. Secundus, secunda, secundum. Again, secundus, secunda, secundum. All right, and that means second. Not like minutes and hours and seconds, like second as in, I'm going to go get a second helping of soup because it was so delicious. I already had my first one. Okay. Please repeat after me. Tertius, tertia, tertium. Again, tertius, tertia, tertium. You might have guessed it. That means third. All right, moving along here. please repeat after me. Quartus, quarta, quartum. Again, quartus, quarta, quartum. That means fourth. Next, please repeat. Quintus, quinta, quintum. Again, quintus, quinta, quintum. That means fifth. Oh, why is it doing this? Hang on, guys. It is not responding. I hate when it does this. Okay. No? Alright, looks like we're going to have to close out and go back in. There we go. Alright, please repeat after me. Sextus, sexta, sextum. Again, sextus, sexta, sextum. Alright, and that means sixth. Okay, next please repeat. Septimus, septima, septimum. Again, septimus, septima, septimum. That's seventh. Alrighty, next, please repeat. Octavus, octava, octavum. Again, octavus, octava, octavum. That means eighth. Alright. Please repeat after me. Nonus, nona, nonum. Again, nonus, nona, nonum. Means ninth. Alright, next. Decimus, decima, decimum. Again, decimus, decima, decimum. Means 10th. Alright, now these last two I kind of included because they're similar. Please repeat. Totus, tota, totum. Again, totus, tota, totum. Alright, that's where we get our word total from. This means whole or entire. Alright. And finally, please repeat. Nullus, nulla, nullum. Again, nullus, nulla, nullum. Alright, and that simply means none. Alright, so totus is all of them, nullus is none of them. Alright, so this is our new vocabulary for this week. Please make sure you have these all filled out. Excuse me, and make sure that these are color-coded in orange. Alrighty, if you need more time on the screen, you can always pause, but without further ado, little old Maggie's going to move on to the grammar lesson. In your packet, you will find that you have some blanks to fill in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, as I usually do, read through the grammar lesson notes, and you are going to fill in the blanks that are missing. All right? Make sure you do that in your notes so you have them, because they're going to help you with your open notes quiz this week. All right? And we're going to highlight in orange, because that's the color of the day. All right. Part C, grammar lessons. Cardinal numbers. Ooh. Now it's time to learn the Latin words for the numerals. There are two types. The first type are called cardinal numbers. The second type are called ordinal numbers. Cardinal numbers are not to be confused with ordinal numbers, which describe order. For example, first, second, or third, etc. You'll learn those soon. What's the difference, you might ask? Well, let's start with where the name comes from. The term cardinal comes from the Latin cardo cardinis, masculine, which means hinge or pivot. By the way, guys, it does not mean bird. Okay, doesn't mean yes. There is a cardinal. That's a type of bird, but that's different from this. Okay, that's because these numbers are the pivotal or most important numbers in counting. These are the ones that you would likely use in a math class in ancient Rome when you practiced counting and doing arithmetic, for example. So the numbers unus, duo, tres would normally be translated as 1, 2, 3, yada yada, etc., right? Okay. Did you notice that after tres, none of the words have any other forms? That's because they have just one form and don't decline. Also notice that the forms listed in the word list for the first three are a little different from what you're used to. We're afraid we have good news and bad news, because this shows that the cardinal numbers are mostly irregular. The good news is that most of them are irregular and that they don't decline at all. That means that you have no new endings to learn. Hooray! That includes all cardinal numbers from 4 quatuor up. Unfortunately, unus, duo, and tres are not so simple. Wah, wah, wah. Hope you like my sound effects. Okay, so let's talk about what that means really quick. So if you look at the vocabulary list, we're talking about cardinal numbers right now. Okay, so forget everything from here over. All right, pretend that's not there for a minute. Now if you notice, okay, from quatuor all the way to decem, so from 4 to 10, there's only one form of the word, okay? And that's the only form you're ever going to see, meaning the ending is not going to change, depending on whether you want to say like 4 males or 4 females or 4 tables, like whatever you want to say, okay? It's just going to be quatuor or quinque or so on and so forth, okay? So these don't decline. That simply means no endings. All right, that's pretty cool. Okay, but just so you guys know, and it's okay, you'll recognize that. These will be easier to recognize than you might think, so don't panic, okay? These are just new words. It's going to be fine, I promise. All right, but these words, these do decline, and they take endings, okay? But don't worry about that too much, okay? Just know that that's a thing that happens in Latin, okay? You don't have to know the endings now, all right? So just chill, and just know that the first 3 are a little funky, but from 4 on, it's pretty straightforward, okay? It's just the one. It's quatuor, quinque, sex, septem, octo, novem, decem, right? Those words don't change. There's no ending shift. Okay, it's always going to be that. You can take that to the bank. You can count on those. All right? So don't worry so much about that. So that was the part 1 of the grammar lesson. Now we have the grammar questions, as usual. All right, so what did we learn so far? Number 1. There are 2 types of numbers in Latin. What are they? Aha! They are the cardinal numbers and the ordinal numbers. Okay. Number 2. Ordinal numbers describe, you could say rank or order, while cardinal numbers are important for counting and arithmetic. All right, so if you wanted to tell your neighbor, dude, I've got 7 chickens, right? You would use a cardinal number because you would count them, okay? But if you want to say, this is the 7th chicken that's laid eggs today, you're giving an order, okay? You're showing rank, right? So she's the 7th one to have done it. There has been a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th already before the 7th chicken. All right, so that's ordinal numbers. Okay, numbers that do decline. As we said just before, it's unos, duo, and tres. Numbers that don't, and you probably should write the full, sorry. Duo, unos, una, and unum. Okay, those are the ones that do decline. All right, and all that means is that, like, the butts of the words change. Okay, they change the endings, but that's okay. You don't need to know what those endings are just yet. All right, they'll be easily recognizable later on. Numbers that don't decline, however, are quatuor, quinque, sex, septem, octo, novem, and decem. Okay, so 1 through 3 are weird, 4 through 10 are cool. All right, so those are the grammar questions for part 1 of the grammar lesson. If you need more time on the screen, you can always pause, but without further ado, I'm going to move along. All right, let's talk about ordinal numbers now, all right? We just talked about cardinal numbers, now we're going to talk about ordinal. That's the other kind of number. The term, all right, we're not going to do the accent, sorry. The term ordinal numbers comes from the Latin for ordo ordinis, which means rank or order. These numbers are used for telling the order of appearance of things. So, for example, the top-ranked centurion in the Roman legion was known as the primus pilus, okay, the first spear, first guy. This is actually not so different from our own English language, which has both cardinal and ordinal numbers too. For instance, if we wanted to say that we see one boy or two boys, we are using our own cardinal numbers. Remember, cardinal counting. How many boys do I see? 2. 1, 2. I can count them with my cardinal numbers. C, count cardinal. Okay. Once we start talking about the first boy or the second boy to arrive, then we're using ordinal numbers, right? I'm ordering them. As in, Johnny was the first boy to arrive, but then Billy was the second to arrive because he showed up 5 minutes after Johnny. All right? So order, ordinal, cardinal, counting. In Latin, these would also require different numbers listed below. That's not in your packet. Sorry, that should not be in there. Sometimes Magistra's editing eye misses things. Whoopsie daisy. All right, next section. Using numbers. Now you know the numbers up to 10. All right, and if you would like to pause the video and do a little victory dance and pat yourself on the back for knowing the numbers up to 10, please go ahead and do so. I would too, but I am teaching you. So the next question is, how should you use those numbers? Think about how you usually use numbers. Unless you're in math class, you generally use them as adjectives. For example, can you remember the 3 main adjective questions? That's right, they're which one, what kind, how many. Ordinal numbers answer the question which one, while cardinal numbers answer how many. So basically you can treat both kinds of numbers, both cardinal and ordinal, as a type of adjective. Okay, so pretty much let's break that down. Okay, let me talk about it. So let's talk about ordinal. Okay, we're going to zoom in here so we can write some stuff. Okay, remember, ordinal is for ordering things, whereas cardinal is for counting. Okay, by the way, this is where Maggie's going to say otherwise you don't have to write this. Okay, but this is just for you to see. If you'd like to write it, be my guest, but you don't have to. Okay, so as I was saying, we got two types of numbers. We've got ordinal on the left and cardinal on the right. Okay, now, if I want to say that I have 3 candles, okay, and someone wanted to ask me about that, they would ask, how many candles do you have? And I would answer, I have 3 candles. All right, so cardinal, counting, how many? All right, but let's say my friend wants to know when I bought these candles, right? What order did I get them in? Which one did I get first, right? Which one grabbed my attention first in the store? Okay, so I would say the first candle was the tropical breeze. I don't know. The second candle is the sheep's wool candle. That doesn't exist, but whatever. Okay, and the third candle was the flower thing, smelly, whatever. Okay, all right. So if my friend wanted to ask me about that, he would say, which one? Which one did you get first? Okay, so when you're ordering things, ranking them, the question is which one? But if you're counting something, the question is how many? Okay? So that's pretty much just what all this stuff down here says. All right? Ordinal asks which one, cardinal is how many. Okay? And just remember my silly example with candles. I don't know why I picked candles. That's really weird. I'm sorry. Okay? So make sure you have all your blanks filled in. I'll leave this here if you have more time. I mean, if you pause the screen if you need more time. I'm going to move on though. Let's do some grammar questions. Okay, number 1, big takeaway. Numbers are used similarly to adjectives. Actually, we can zoom in because the screen doesn't have that much on it. All right, number 2, cardinal numbers. Remember, cardinal is for counting. Counting asks the question, how many? All right. How many candles do you have, Magistra? I have 3 candles. Okay, ordinal numbers answer the question, which one? Okay, which candle did you get first, Magistra? My first candle was the tropical breeze. The second was the sheep's wool. And the third was the flower thing. Okay? So order, ordinal, counting, cardinal. Okay? See how that kind of works? Okay. And it's okay if this is still a little confusing. Honestly, big takeaway here. Okay? This is why I stress it. If you know your vocabulary, a lot of these grammar rules will, they're super important. Okay, grammar is very important in Latin, but vocabulary can really save you a lot of the time. And that's why I assign you guys to study your vocabulary so much, all right? Because it's super important and it can help you. Okay, pinky promise with a cherry on top, right? So that is that. In your packet, you do have a Week 10 open notes quiz. Okay, that means you can use your notes to take it. And I would recommend that you do so. Definitely use your vocabulary list. All right? So finish that, and I need you to submit both of these things to me by the end of the week, okay? And that end of the week is May 29th. And just as a quick friendly reminder, your May flashcard calendar is going to be due next week, 100 minutes minimum required. Okay, please don't give me any less than that. I don't want to be giving anybody a bad grade, all right? I want you guys to finish strong and do your stuff, okay? I miss you guys very much. I hope you are doing okay. I hope you're doing better than okay. I hope you're doing well. All right, and I hope your families are safe. If you have any questions, again, you can email me. My email, I'll just drop that right here, is sslade@gakali.com. Okay? Email me with any comments, questions, concerns, or utter confusion. I'm here for you. Okay? So have a great one. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Walete, Diskipoli.